The world is changing, and the school system has now implemented online classrooms. Online classrooms have become very popular in today's age. Some may view it as a game changer and the beginning of something different for the school systems. Although there are many issues that come along with online learning and how it affects the students. Today I'm going to discuss about how in-person education has more advantages than online learning. I've been in college for about 2 years now. I've taken about 4 online courses here at Madison College in a matter of 4 semesters. This personal connection to online courses exposed me to the downside and upsides to this situation, or to this issue, as some would say. On the other hand, I've spent my whole life learning the ups and downs of in-person learning as well. I mean, we've all had to experience face-to-face learning since we were young, and granted, some of us in college are just being introduced to online learning. Furthermore, I've interviewed a pool of about 10 people regarding their thoughts on the issue, as well, to give me perspective as to what thoughts does my audience have on the issue. And while I'm talking, I'm gonna be able to describe to the individuals who are with and against the disadvantages and the advantages of online education versus in-person learning. If you couldn't have tell already, I'm in favor of in-person learning, and let's continue on as you can see why. So throughout this speech, I'm going to be able to tell you about online education, that it does not let the student retain information, and that was a huge thing for me. And when I surveyed my audience, I seen that it was a prevalent issue as well. Another thing that we're going to be going over is in-person education and how it regulates and implements efficient learning. And not saying that they're both not efficient, but from what studies show and facts show is that in-person learning is much more efficient than online learning. And it all starts with the educator. Educators can structure the courses with more group participants and be able to blend the learning in person and actually help the student on the spot. And that's huge for some individuals who need help on site, instead of emailing an instructor and not being able to get in contact with them right away. So let's continue on as to why studies show that online education can benefit and can put individuals in a bad position to learn. So let's begin. Online education does not let the student retain information. Accommodation of students who need help offered in traditional courses. Face-to-face support in the classroom will evoke interest in the course at hand and first-hand to help those who are in dire need. Online education has its ups and its downs, like I've said, but this is kind of one of the bigger points that I'm going to come across while I'm speaking, is that students need accommodation. If a student has trouble on a problem and they're not able to get help or get some type of, how do I say it? If they're not be able to get help at all, and it's really difficult for them to understand a concept on the spot, it's going to really kind of throw them off from what they're going to learn down the road. And if you have a teacher on the spot who's able to talk to the student and kind of clear the smoke of what the concept is, then the student can understand what the student's going to be learning and be able to implement it down the road. And it's actually been found by Columbia University's community colleges that students who enroll in online courses are most likely to withdraw or fail courses than compared to traditional face-to-face courses. And I kind of found that interesting, because I was just like, okay, I understand that online courses take a lot of time management, which is another big thing, and that online courses take effort. And if you're a student who needs accommodation, that can be a really tough problem. So when it comes to the study, it goes to show that online learning may not be the best for some individuals. And I honestly think that is because an individual who needs that accommodation, like I said, and another huge thing, time management, it can be really difficult. Like for me, I play collegiate baseball, I go to school, and time management is a crucial factor for me. Granted, I've sometimes it's hard to handle it all, but it's all a matter of time management. And sometimes I do need the accommodation to put myself in a position to succeed. But although there are many flaws and downsides to online learning, there are reasons as to why online learning would benefit a student. Online classes are typically lower in cost. They also give the student flexibility and convenience. Online courses are a simple way to continue profession while working a job or maintaining a family. Online courses even make the ability to obtain knowledge from the course much more efficient and easy. So these are just things that also benefit the student as well. And online learning truly benefits and aids the greater good of the educational society, but there are many upsides when it comes to face-to-face learning. In-person learning regulates and promotes higher learning. As I've said before, the ability to be on spot and be able to talk to a student is very crucial to the understanding for them to understand. The greatest moments that I've had where I was able to discuss with an instructor was being face-to-face. Although you can form some type of connection with an individual through, let's say, email or video chat, it's also good to be able to talk to someone and be able to connect with them on a level where they understand where you're going, what you are going through, what you are thinking on the spot. And that's very crucial to learning. An individual who can have a mentor or some type of individual there in presence to discuss with them that, hey, this is what you're doing wrong, this is what you need to fix. And like I said, online learning is going to put an individual where they may not understand the concept, they may understand the concept, they may be confused on it, but it's a matter of, okay, I have to understand this concept before I move on. And that's a big, big issue, because if an individual does not understand a concept before he or she moves on, there is not an efficient learning pattern there. And that's going to be very crucial for someone trying to learn something new and implement it into their life. If they're being forced, well, not necessarily forced, if they're kind of, they're kind of putting themselves in a position where they're not going to be able to learn the concepts correctly and efficiently and be able to implement them later. And another thing is engagement and focus. Procrastination is prevalent throughout Procrastination is prevalent throughout individuals who take online courses, like I said. And especially when a student may have tabs open or a phone that may text or ring every couple minutes. That's why an instructor who takes away phones, as I finally realized this ever since I was young, like, why do they got to take away my phones? Obviously, it may distract you, but these are actual reasons that I can attest to, and the audience that I surveyed have agreed with as well. There are more distractions than online learning than distractions in person, because like I said, the environment is not regulated, and the environment can be anywhere. And it's really difficult, it may be really difficult, especially for me, to sit down at home and realize, okay, I need to finish this in a matter of time. And without good time management throughout my week, it's really easy to put a class aside and to just put it aside and expect I'll take care of it later, and I'll learn the material fast, and I'll expect to retain it. And that's just something that's not going to work out. And to wrap it up, as we view the information statistics that were given in today's presentation, we can obviously see that there are flaws in both systems, but no one can ever take away face-to-face learning. Face-to-face learning introduces the person to society and forces them to interact and think critically about subjects. And as humans have learned things from other humans from the beginning of our primitive times. Although you can be directed by words on a page, the simple discussion or interaction between individuals can be tremendously beneficial. The world is changing, and so is the educational system. Conduct conversation with your kids or friends and spread joy and happiness throughout the world, face-to-face and in person. It's just a matter of learning in person that changes everything. Thank you.